I am delighted to welcome back the Reverend to the rant. How's it going, my brother?
Not too bad, how are you, brother?
Yeah, no, I'm okay, thank you. What have you been getting up to since last we had you on here?
Not too much, work and all that kind of stuff. Most recently, I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2 finally after I'm 8 years late to the party, so that sucked up. I got real immersed in it, like sucked up like the last 2 weeks. I
Oh
played
yeah,
that
no, that is a
constantly.
life stealer. There's no question about it. I was
Yeah.
going to say to you, when you finally managed to tear yourself away from Elden Ring or now Red Dead Redemption, I've got the game for you.
Hmm.
Path of Exile 2.
Okay.
Absolutely fucking fantastic. They only have the beta version up now. I think the official release comes out at the end of the year. But I've been playing it with my daughter actually because you can do two player on the same screen, two player co op.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been playing it with my daughter, and it's absolutely fucking fantastic. I really like the first PoE. I think it's a Diablo-like game, but it's a lot better and a lot deeper than Diablo.
I know
With
they have
PoE
like
2, they've added some elements from I would say from Elden Ring. So it's not a lot. It's quite subtle, but there's definitely some elements added. So it's not just move to the next part of the screen and just hold in your fire button. You actually now have to seriously think about it, and it becomes especially fun when you're playing it with somebody else.
is the I saw some stuff about the first game that like the skill tree stuff was like pretty like really huge, like almost too much. Is it did they
Uh,
is it still the same way as this
they
one?
they went even bigger on PoE
Oh.
two. So, but I tell
Yeah.
you what, we should potentially do when the full release comes out. I mean, I've never done this before on Into the Necrosphere, but maybe you and I have us a game stream and see if a couple of people want to join in, and yeah, we'll do a game stream and talk some shit on there.
They'll have to figure out how to work that out on PlayStation.
Yeah, 100%. All
Yeah.
right, let's start as always on metalstorm.net, the finest metal news website in all the land. There is a new single by the band Castle. Now, Castle is not a band I am hugely familiar with or actually have any degree of interest in. However, Marco sent me a note the other day saying how much he enjoys it. So I figured I may as well give this a listen. It says here to taste another piece of their next full length offering, Carry Chains, the Californian duo Castle shares the second single called Truck Grinder. Going to give that one 60 seconds rather than 2 minutes because I can already tell that I'm going to fucking hate the rest of the song. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's worth putting myself or the listeners through any more of it. What was your take?
Pretty much the same. Yeah, not a fan.
No.
I don't like it or get what the lyrics are about or the whole thing. Just I don't really get it. So it's not for me.
No, I can think of. I mean, like if I want to listen to music like this, then I'm going to listen to. I mean, it's not quite the same, but I would sooner listen to High on Fire or Wasp. I mean, I'd listen to L7 before I listen to this.
Yeah,
I think I've
yeah.
said many times before, Bricks Are Heavy by L7. What a fucking record!
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like just I don't know. This doesn't sound good at all to me. Like I don't even. I guess they're trying to do retro-ish metal, but it's not
Yeah,
good. In my opinion, that's not good at all.
and they are, as I understand it, reasonably well known, but again, it's I don't know. I don't quite know how, because I'm not. I don't know what this brings to the table that would be of or that's new or interesting or different or unique. As you say, it just sounds like it sounds like a very intentionally retro band.
Well, you look at that cover; it's pretty retro, but kind of like that kind of like modern filter retro. You know what I mean?
Yeah. By the way, I mentioned this to you before we started recording, but if my voice disappears or it sounds like I'm trying too hard to get a word out, I recorded vocals yesterday for a small section of a album that I shan't name just yet. Not my album, an album of a mutual friend of ours.
Yep.
But I will tell you something. If you haven't done anything remotely extreme vocal wise for 5 years now, it's a bit of a strain on the old vocal cords, on the old larynx when you have to step it up.
Yeah, particularly if it's not something that you've like done a lot either, you know, because I mean, you haven't.
I was in a band, but this was like 2001. So,
Yeah.
So that was about it. Like 2001, I was in a band, but I haven't been in anything permanent or anything regular since then. So yeah,
Makes it hard.
It was a little rough on the old vocal cord. So if I sound like Mark Lanigan, that's why. What's been going on with all of your various musical projects?
Yeah, so the new Black Flame Altar album, well, it's all tracked pretty much except for some guest vocal stuff that we're still waiting to get done, and then I got to finish mixing it. But our goal is to put it out later this year. We might send it to some labels, see if anybody wants to put it out, or might just be put it out on Bandcamp and see if anybody wants to put out a physical release. At least we haven't decided that yet, but I'm trying to get it like all mixed in the next couple months, so then be ready to go. Depending what we want to do, if we put out ourselves, it'll come out on Halloween. And that's the goal. And at the same time, I've already pretty much written everything for the Antichrist Blood Scourge album, like just the guitar demos. We haven't like done the drum demos and everything yet, but that will be in the works for next year to release next year. And then we're writing something for HoloLens right now. Mike's started writing, and I wrote a song, and we're putting some stuff together for that as well for sometime in the future. So, keeping busy.
It is like between you, Drugoth, and Mike, it's an unbelievable amount of output that seems to kind of consistently get generated.
Yeah, we definitely put out quite a bit, and that our kind of collaboration with Mike has worked really well, because like Mike's has guest vocal stuff for the Black Flame Altar album and some guest guitar. Actually, for what we're going to do, he's going to pretty much join for as a guitar player for Black Flame Altar for the next release, whatever that's going to be. So that'll be cool. So we'll have 2 projects we're doing, all 3 of us, and then it worked. It was really cool, like having him do the guest vocals on the Blood Scourge EP as well. And I think it works out. Like for some reason, our collaboration's really successful.
Yeah, no, I think that's awesome. Well, again, it's a meeting of minds right here within the circle of the Horsemen. Obviously, just don't let the bum sniffers over at Metal Trenches know, because they of an issue with even calling ourselves the Horsemen. I have no idea why, but
well, yeah, like what's going on with all that? Like,
well, so I discovered this because somebody who follows me on Instagram sent me a note and said there were a couple of comments about you on the Metal Warfare forum, and the first was somebody seemed to take massive offense to the fact that I used to do the longer intros before episodes started. So I, and in those intros, I would introduce the Horsemen and all that sort of stuff. And they seem to have an incredible gripe with that. The other thing that they seem to have an incredible gripe with was my accent, which I mean, I apologize for being born in South Africa and picking up the dialect of the land. The other thing they seem to have an issue with is how I speak. So the one guy compared me to an FM 100 presenter. I mean, I'm not presenting into the Necrosphere in any other way than how I actually speak. And, certainly as far as like radio, I'm not going, hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Into the Necrosphere. So,
Okay.
and then one other comment that was made was, I mean, there was so much fucking stupid shit. They said that, like I said, they hate the idea of the Horseman. They really hate Mike. I don't know why.
They have Mike Hill or Mike Scandado. Yeah,
no, Mike Hill. So you were left unscathed. Mike Scandado was left unscathed.
That's surprising.
Cheyenne was they laid into him. Mike Hill they couldn't stand. Werewolves for some reason. I mean, there was like 3 pages of stupid shit about how terrible they are. It sounds like death metal for the gym. And then the other one was they said that that I'm egotistical.
Okay.
Which, I mean, Jesus Christ, I certainly hope I never come across that way. I get how you might feel like I'm egotistical if you're so low down that the majority of your time is spent watching the neighbor making love to your wife. Then I understand it. Maybe somebody with some degree of pride is going to seem like they're a little egotistical, but yeah, beyond that, fucking idea.
This is interesting. So they hate these mouth breathers hate the Horseman and everything. It's funny.
Basically, yeah. I mean, they seem if you
I wonder what I don't quite understand what their deal is. That's funny.
It's just
none of these complaints sound like valid complaints to me. So
Well, this is the thing, right? I don't mind criticism, but
yeah,
if you're gonna say stupid shit like you hate somebody because of their accent, I automatically say to you.
It automatically is like there's certain things like that people can say, and it's just like it automatically means that any criticism you have I can't take seriously because you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one thing if you have a hard time with somebody's accent, then that's one thing. But if you're like, oh, I hate his accent, fuck that guy, that's it's bordering on racist or something. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy.
Well, dude, I think maybe some of that Belle Delphine bathwater they've been sipping that affects the brain apparently. All right, let's listen to. Speaking of accents, let's listen to guys with a very strong Australian accent. And I will be getting Jason Pepiat from this band back on the podcast at some point very soon. Psycroptic delivering a new single. This is the second one they are putting out off their new album. The album is called The Pulse of Annihilation. I really, really like that first single they put out. I'm a big fan of Psycroptic anyway, so to me, anytime they put out anything, I'm instantly interested. We're going to listen to this new single very quickly, and the song is called No Blade of Grass.
Curriculum,
you think?
It's really good. The like what I like about it, it's so it's probably more like technical and progressive type of riffing than like I usually listen to. But what makes it work really well is that it has catchy qualities to the riffs. Like there's a catchy chorus part. There's, you know what I mean? Like it's not just like noodling or some shit. It's like there's really good parts to every part. You know what I mean?
I agree. I said this when I had Dan from No Clean Singing on the podcast a couple of weeks ago. The thing that has always been great about Psycroptic is that they are super technical. They are quite progressive, as you say, but they never ever get away from having every element of the band serve the song. And so, what you get with every single, basically every record they've ever done and every track they've ever recorded, there's always an emphasis on something that's that's catchy, a hook, a groove, and they obviously have the talent to pull that off, in very fine style. Again, for reference, I think my favorite Psycroptic records would be Observant that came out in 2008. The Inherited Repression from 2012 is fucking fantastic. But I mean, they've not ever put out something bad. And again, listening to the record just in terms of performance, I mean, Jason Pepiat sounds great. That contrast that his vocals have against Jason Kaiser from Origin, who's also involved in this record, that sounds fucking cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Of course, we were talking about about Werewolves earlier. You got Dave Haley on the drums, one of the greatest drummers on the face of the earth, a guy that can play hyper technical, but he's got such a natural sense of groove, and it's he lends it to Werewolves, which makes them sound fantastic. And on Psycroptic, I think is where some of his best work comes out.
Yeah, that's on. I mean, it's really amount of talent in the band is pretty crazy.
It's fucking nuts.
Yeah,
it's absolutely insane. I mean, you got Joe Haley as well. Of course, he's in Bremelin, and he also does the production for all of the Werewolves records. So, yeah, just top to bottom talent. And like I said, I'm going to have Jason Pepiat on the podcast again pretty soon. So that gets a top notch for me, without a doubt. Yeah. I love it. I think anybody that gets excited about, an Arcspire record or anything like that, just take a step back. Just go listen to Psycroptic. If you want to hear how tech death is done or should be done properly, Psycroptic is your band.
Oh yeah, I really like that part with the two vocals. That was like my favorite part of the song.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah. Well, I'm a sucker for multiple vocalists on stage. I love the look of two vocalists on stage. I don't know whether you've ever seen Despised Icon, but like when they're on stage, just the whole vibe of the performance is so fucking cool. And so there's like a crazy, it kind of reminds me a little bit of like pro wrestling in the late 90s style energy. I just can't get enough of it.
Yeah. I never listened to them, but
oh, dude. You know where they turned me? I saw them play live, and it was a show that was one of those where I had a guest list, or I was on the guest list, and I hadn't planned on going. There weren't bands that on paper appealed to me massively. I think it was Unearth. I can't remember who else was on. I think Black Dahlia Murder were on that lineup as well. And so I went in, and Despised Icon were one of the first bands opening, and they just absolutely blew me away. Didn't know their music whatsoever, but when I saw them play live, my jaw was just on the floor. They are like one of those bands where as soon as you see them perform, you will be a fan. Doesn't matter what style of music you're into. If you have an ounce of testosterone in you, you will be a fan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they blew Unearth away because that band is crap.
Correct. Yeah. Oh no, there's no fucking contest there. All right. Green Carnation are releasing another studio record in September. Of course, I had a conversation with Green Carnation last year when the first part of this trilogy came out. But it says here, Dark Poem Part 3, The Messiah Complex, is going to be the third and final part of Green Carnation's Dark Poem trilogy. It'll be set free on September the 4th, 2026, via Season of Mist. The 4-piece outing was recorded at the Dub Studio. And then again, Metal Storm does what it always does and gives us a laundry list of all the credits. They've got a new single here called Unconditional Artificial Chemistry. So let's give this one a quick spin. Gonna pause there. You know what I couldn't escape as I was listening to this song, and I know that they probably only sound vaguely similar, but I kept thinking of Sentient Number 6 by Nevermore.
Yeah, I can hear that for sure. It's kind of got that. Although Sentient Number 6 is maybe a little bit more acoustic guitars and stuff going on, but it's pretty similar in a lot of ways. Kind of similar vibe. Is vocals aren't too far off from some of Warren's vocals, so Worrell's vocals.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. The Green Carnation, one of those bands that I've always intended to get more into. Like I've listened mostly to like maybe their first couple albums, came out in like the 90s, you know, and of course it's really funny that of course like, you know, the main guy in Green Carnation is also like used to play bass in Carpathian Forest and played bass on In the Nightside Eclipse and stuff, you know. It's so utterly the opposite. You know.
Yeah, no, that is that is pretty crazy. Which is, I think, what probably threw me originally about the band when I first heard them, because they were quite heavily, and I don't know whether people remember this, but when this band first came out, they were quite heavily promoting it as a band featuring a member of Emperor and Satyricon. Like they really pushed that.
They did,
so, you know, you switch it on and you kind of hear something that is completely and utterly fucking different. I mean, it's like very progressive, you know, hard rock. For the most part,
it's very similar to, you know, late mid-era Anathema, you know, like TMS, Wild Honey, stuff like that. You know, it's definitely you know, particularly the first couple albums, very much of that time, which I like that stuff a lot. So, you know, but they're not, I haven't really like listened to their whole discography or anything. So something I've been meaning to do at some point is actually give it more of a listen to their catalog.
Well, I can definitely recommend this this trilogy that they are busy with right now. When I heard the first single off the first part, A Dark Poem Part 1, The Shores of Melancholia, I didn't like it very much. And then when I heard the whole thing, it was one of those things where if you spend your time listening to the album end to end, it actually makes sense. And the song starts, even the song I didn't like as much, was like, okay, now actually I see where it fits into the bigger picture, and I'm enjoying it a lot more. I'll also say, you know, Ghettel, who I interviewed last year at Beyond the Gates, and I did that listening session with him, such a nice guy. And, you know, a guy who's just so passionate about what they do. It's let's be honest, it gets easier to love the band when you've met the singer, and the singer is such a cool dude.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this has always been his passion, the whole time. So
yeah. I am sad to report, though, because I know I've been saying throughout the year that I was going to attend, but I am sad to report that I'm not going to be attending Beyond the Gates anymore this year.
oh, really?
Mixture of reasons. Number one, with Paige being pregnant, it's a little bit harder for her to travel. And so what I don't want to do is go quite honestly, I'm just not in the mood to go there by myself and spend a whole week there like fucking Johnny No Mates. Cheyenne and Cheyenne and his partner, they won't be making it. Katie's not going to be there this year. So there's not a lot of folks that I would have known. And as much as last year, I absolutely loved every second of it. But spending 5 days there by yourself, that's not going to be fun. So I decided it's a lot of money to go in any case. I'd rather do the right thing, stay here with Paige, make sure that she's okay.
Yeah.
And live to go another day. I will definitely try and make the 2027 iteration of it. But I'll be giving 2026 a miss. I think it was also made easier by the fact that obviously Emperor or they are playing it headlining Beyond the Gates this year. They're now headlining Fortress next year, so it's not like I'm going to miss them.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be, it's probably, you go if you go next year, it's kind of like you're not going to be going so often that you get tired of it or something as well. So,
yeah, exactly. I do see some people on the socials though, and they literally go to basically almost every single festival running in Europe, at least by the looks of things. And I'm like, I don't know where you find the fucking stamina from to do this.
I don't know, dude.
I couldn't keep that up.
I barely have the desire to go to any festival, so like be around people for that long, something like Beyond the Gates I really do want to get over there and to that festival. I really want to go to Steelfest as well. Those are like the two big ones I really want to get over there for. But even with that, like I'm not really I'm not like a festival person, I don't really enjoy being around that many people for 4 days or something. Like I think something like Fortress is great because it's only 2 days. Like I think like a 4 or 5 day festival seems like maybe a little too long. You know what I mean?
Well, if a 4 or 5 day festival, I feel is long. When camping is involved, to me, that's an immediate no. I will
That's
never
immediate
go camping.
no.
I fucking absolutely hate it. I camped once, and it was the worst weekend of my goddamn life. So I'll never do that. The thing that's brilliant about Fortress is you can get as I've mentioned on the Fortress review video, you can get a really nice place to stay, very close to the venue. The venue is awesome. The people, the vibe, everything is great. There's normally a ton of good bands. You don't have to stay at the venue all the time if you don't want to. There's a load of restaurants you can go to, bars. Because of the seaside location, it does kind of feel like you're on vacation.
Right.
So if I could recommend you any festival, 100% come and hang out with us at Fortress in 2027.
Yeah, that would be cool. It'd be cool to get. I just want to get over to Europe as soon as I can. But it is kind of it's about getting enough money to get over there. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And also, obviously, there's the risk of old two-tier digging up one of your old social media posts and having you arrested upon your arrival at Heathrow. I want to ask you a question because this is something that the Legion have been demanding I do more of. They really love it when we talk about what we're listening to right now. And I know you're a man of discerning taste. So what in the last week have you listened to most?
I've been listening to a lot of Beast Milk and Grave Pleasures recently. Then before we got on, I was actually listening to some Queens of the Stone Age. So, but
which Queens of the Stone Age album?
The first album.
Okay,
that's the one I was listening to. I mean, I like all the Queens of the Stone Age albums, so I've been listening to them since I was like 14 or something. What else have I listened to? Let me look. Yeah, definitely a lot of Beast Milk and Grave Pleasures. It's been a big thing. I'm trying to remember other stuff. I haven't listened to too much newer things. Like, to be honest, like I listened to that. What was that album? Where is it in my list? I sent it to y'all. Sent it to you guys. Just disappeared.
Olivia Rodrigo's new record.
The Fours Man band.
Oh yeah. Well, I will forgive you for not even attempting to pronounce the album title.
Well, the album disappeared from my list on here. Yeah, the Fours Man Brenda Rustier og Fuchrandi Fjorur, something like that.
Yeah, fucking amazing. I discovered, and I shouldn't say discovered because let's say I knew the album was coming. I hadn't paid very much attention, and then I was, I did what I typically do on a Friday, which is I add all of the new releases that look interesting to the long list. And this one happened to come on after the album that I had kind of added prior to that. And I heard the first song. I was like, holy fucking shit, this is good. Arrogant Destructor. The album is called The Old Spirit Remains, and it was released by Satanath Records. The first song gives you an idea of why this is awesome. It's called Total Maniacal War, and it is fucking absolutely brilliant.
Nice.
They're from Birmingham, right here in the UK, and obviously, if you live in Birmingham, there's plenty of reasons for you to be angry and hateful. So, I mean, they actually have an album that they put out in 2020 called No Fucking Mercy. But yeah, dude,
that's awesome.
Massively recommend this record if you haven't checked it out yet.
Another new release that I recommend everybody check out is can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Another new release I highly recommend is from the new one from Nora Evangelium. It's the Vaffer Logi is the band.
Oh yes, I've been listening to that as well.
Nice. The LD Goose. That just came out pretty recently. That album is sick as fuck. So
yeah.
Two really, really sick Icelandic bands just came out recently, which is nice. I've been giving the new Gravier album more listens.
Which is a brilliant record.
Yeah. And the Permafog EP,
also brilliant.
Any other new stuff?
Are you as gobsmacked about the fact that Permafog is not signed to a record label yet? I have no idea how that's happened.
I don't know. It's crazy.
I mean, that to me is like, if you think about bands that are slept on, I would argue that is one of the most slept upon black metal bands on the planet right now.
Definitely. And then another thing I've been listening to is Holder quite a bit recently, because that new single came out and I really liked it, and then I was like listening to their older stuff too. So
yeah, no, I'm a fan too. I've got two others I'll add to the list and then we'll move on. So you and I listened a while back to the first single of the new Nargaroth record, and neither of us were particularly impressed. I will say, I strongly suggest you go back and revisit the album. The whole record is excellent.
Cool.
Much like Green Carnation, but just on the more, sinister side. It's one of those things where if you go back and you listen to the whole thing, the record makes sense. Terrible choice of a first single, because there are absolute bangers on the album and bangers that would have made people a lot more excited about the record. I feel that single has kind of made folks like ignore it a little bit.
Yeah,
but strongly suggest you go back and listen to it if you are one of those people. I mean, again, I kind of did it almost by accident, but Apocalyptic Steel is the name of the band. The album. Yeah. And I think it is superb.
I would have gotten around to it eventually, just because I'm a fan of Nargaroth in general, so I always check out the new albums. So, and he's been releasing pretty good stuff recently. So
yeah.
You said there's another album.
Another album, and this and everyone that listens to this podcast should know the record, and if not, then shame on you. Inside the Electric Circus by Wasp. So my Wasp obsession continues unabated. I have, I especially the first couple of records. I just fucking love them so much. The song "King of Sodom and Gomorrah" on Inside the Electric Circus. I dropped Swartolf a note, and I said, if you ever do something again with Nocturnal Breed, you guys must cover this. It's like the fucking Nocturnal Breed anthem. I can't think of a song that would suit that band better. But yeah, what a fucking record.
Well, it's always a good day to listen to Wasp. You know that Wasp
Oh, yeah.
definitely one of those bands I can put on pretty much any time, and that whatever mood you're in, it's perfect. You know.
So onto some more music. Now, I actually saw this on Metal Storm the other day, and I thought, let me save this for when Karl is on. I know about the drama surrounding Dogma, but I have never in my life bothered to listen to the band.
Me neither.
I suspect it's going to be absolutely dreadful. However, it's
the only
let's
reason
listen and find out for sure whether or not our assumptions are correct.
The only reason I know anything about this was Boris. He did a video about the Dogma stuff, like because he didn't know what it was. So he's trying to explore it, and I was like, this sounds like a pretty stupid situation. But yeah, I don't know what the music sounds like at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, Wyatt from Wyatt's Metal, he did a bunch of videos on Dogma, all of it absolutely outstanding if you haven't watched it yet. But I again, throughout all of this, I never bothered listening to the band because the whole idea, everything about it looked stupid to me.
Yeah, me too.
But I did when I saw there's a new song, I said to myself, me and Karl, we need to give this a whirl.
The song title is something special.
Well, the song title sounds like something that ChatGPT would have come up with.
Yeah.
So for those not watching and only listening, the new single is entitled "My Matricidal." So it says here, Brazil heavy metal hard rock collective Dogma have launched an official music video for their newly streaming new single called "My Matricidal." As I said, I fear the worst, but let's give it 60 seconds and see if we can survive.
Dark whispers rise in amber grace. My sun denies my blood, my face. Dusk Messiah prowls. He mouths my thousand thoughts for twisted shouts. Light breaks my fear. It was my sin. Talks to me near to look me tight. Oh, like Messiah, you show the scheme. My son pariah would end with me. You tell them lies that you deny. You call it fate, my matricidal. Dark Messiah
I've
brave.
got two observations. The first is that I think the next scandal that's going to erupt from this band is that they're going to find out that a very early model of ChatGPT wrote the lyrics, not only the song title, but it came up with the lyrics as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know whether you saw some of that fucking complete and utter ridiculousnly, because for some bizarre reason when I played the video, it had the captions coming up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not the sound mind that came up with that.
No.
Frankly, it doesn't sound human.
No, wasn't there already something about some type of AI stuff with them as well already? So
I don't know. I have to look that up.
Is this band popular? Like, I mean, I just don't understand. Like, it's so awful. Like, do people listen to it? Like,
Of course they do. If it's awful, there's a very good chance it has a massive audience.
this is like worse than Evanescence. And that's saying a lot.
I think I would 100% agree with you. I mean, I was going to say my second observation is I would rather run into a wall until I pass out and die from fucking blood loss than listen to another Dogma song.
No, yeah, I'm good. I never need to listen to that shit ever again.
Fucking hell. But yeah, I mean, people are incredibly passionate about the band, and when the accusations
Really?
started going back and forth, I mean, the dregs of society usually slither their way onto Reddit, and they'll share their pain and sorrows about their favorite ridiculous band. But yeah, there were folks that wrote entire essays about how when they first heard Dogma, they were so blown away by the fact that it was a what do they call it? Like a confident statement about female sexuality and fucking God knows what
Oh,
other
wow.
bullshit.
Well,
And
I mean-
now their dreams have been dashed, and as I said, it's fucking terrible.
See, that takes a very distinct level of like just I don't know, like not knowing reality. I mean, that band you look at it for 2 seconds and it was made by people who are trying to monetize. Like you got a whole band of like sexy nun ladies, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's every aspect of it is obviously there. It's like not any different from a girl band or something, a girl group or
What's
boy band or something.
It's the Spice Girls of heavy metal. That's basically what it
Exactly.
is.
Yeah.
I tell you something. A pervasive issue that gets it doesn't really get spoken much about in the metal scene, but I certainly think that it exists. The simp culture in the wider metal community, it makes me fucking sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
It really does. The fact
Yeah.
that any fucking and I'm not casting direct aspersions here, but any bimbo with a webcam can launch a YouTube channel, talk complete and utter shit, and they'll get 2, 3, 4,000 views overnight just because she's got a photo where she's mildly pouting and showing a little bit of cleavage. And that to me shows that a lot of metal men are fucking weaklings that cannot maintain relationships with women that don't involve an exchange of credit card numbers and money. And so they're desperate for any form of female contact.
Oh, I 100% believe that a big part of the male community like just doesn't know how to talk to women.
Yeah.
And it's like they're a lot of them can be very creepy. I can know this from women who are like around the metal scene or peripheral. Like a lot of these metal dudes are creepy, but in that kind of like I'm a nice guy, type of like creepy. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like because they're like, a lot of them will like wait around for like if they like here, like I know from a fact that like one of my friends, like when she and her boyfriend broke up, like she told me all these guys who pretended to be her friend or whatever, all of a sudden were like trying to like ask her on dates or hit on her, like just like, but it was like a bunch of vultures descending.
Yeah.
As soon as they knew she was single, it was like, and that's how the metal scene is with guys for some reason. Like it's kind of pathetic.
Mike and I touched on it one time that he was on the show, and the theory I think we collectively aligned on was the fact that, unfortunately, a lot of guys in the metal scene really bought into the whole vampiric fantasy, gothic romance side of the lyrics when they were young, and they have since deployed that as the blueprint for how they approach relationships, romance, etc. And so you get these situations where they almost become like they're like John Cusack with these fucking stereo above his head. The only difference is they're wearing a black trench coat and they've got like smeared makeup on their face. But it's so fucking pathetic, man. And somehow these motherfuckers need to be deprogrammed because they're giving the rest of us a bad name.
Well, definitely. And the thing is, it doesn't work, like you can't be like that. Like, I mean, I can't say too much. I haven't been in a long relationship for a while, but at the same time, I know that I don't. If you have to have some, I guess, like here, like A, self-confidence, B, like I don't know, just like don't be a fucking simpering fool. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just be yourself. You know what I mean? Like, don't like sit there and I don't know. You see all these comments guys do on girls' posts and stuff like that. It's like,
Dude, it's unreal. If you ever want to laugh, just go onto any adult film actresses Instagram, and some of the stuff that you'll see is just fucking mind-boggling. As a matter of fact, you don't even need to do that. There's a girl I follow and I know through mutual friends on Instagram, and she will regularly post some of the private messages and the DMs that she gets. It's fucking unreal, mate. I mean,
Yeah.
it's insane to me that the men that send these things are allowed to roam free in the streets. So
Yeah.
again, to anyone who might be listening who doesn't know how this works, all of that kind of behavior, that doesn't get you the girl, that gets you a fucking restraining order.
Yeah, gets you a ban.
Gets you put
A
on the
block.
sex offenders register. All right, let's go on to some more music. Abyssal Rift release a new track. Death Doomers Abyssal Rift is streaming Sphere of Perpetuity, the latest new preview track from their upcoming sophomore record, Relics of Great Ash. Let's hear what this one sounds like. Pause there. I did give that one longer run time because it seemed to be taking its sweet goddamn time to get going.
Yeah, it was a long intro.
I can't remember whether you were on the show with me when we listened to the first single of this album, The Enlightenment There Was Never Will. And I do recall not enjoying that. I do feel a lot more positive about this song, but what did you think?
Yeah. I like this quite a bit. It reminds me of like Disembowelment. It's kind of got this like Funeral Doom quality to it. I'm sure it's I don't know, maybe at some point it goes into blasting and stuff, but it definitely makes me think of Disembowelment, which I really like. Like it's kind of like, very not too far off from like some Evoken. You know, I think it's cool. I like it.
Yeah, no, me too. I think they did a lot better job. If I compare this to my recollection of the previous single, I think they do a far better job of building the atmosphere, the tension, the dynamics. I like the melody. I kind of feel like that beginning, maybe the first 90 seconds or so, there's a bit of a Black Sabbath vibe to me in that. And and it was like, you know, Black Sabbath for the modern Death Doom age. And I think they do a really good job of incorporating that influence. So yeah, overall, much more excited about this single than I was about the previous one. That's for sure.
Yeah, I might have been on. I don't remember. So I don't really remember. I think I was on because the name looks familiar.
Yeah.
But I don't have any memory of what the song sounded like, so I'd have to go back and listen to it again. But I definitely like that one. So I mean, let's hope it's good. Oh yeah, not metal, but Chelsea Wolfe is putting out an album. She put out her singles. Looking forward to that.
I know. I've heard them both, and that's actually something I'm potentially considering going to. I think there's a festival called Arctangent or Arcgent or whatever the fuck it's called. It's happening in August, just up the road from me.
Oh yeah.
But I was thinking of getting a day ticket to be able to take my daughter to go and see Chelsea Wolfe play.
Oh, you definitely.
And I have heard those two new songs. Loved them both. They're a little mellow for Into the Necrosphere, which is why I gave them a skip.
Yeah.
But it is good.
Have you seen her live? Because
I haven't.
She's great.
I haven't.
Yeah, I've seen her like I don't know, 4 or 5 times, I think. So like, she's really, really good live. The first time I saw her was for the Abyss, and I was back like a while ago, and that was with Wovenhand. That was a really sick show.
Jesus, that would have been incredible.
Yeah, that was that was a really, really good night.
Yeah, if you ever want to do yourself a treat, if you ever have access to a high-end hi-fi,
Mm-hmm.
you know, even if you've got a hi-fi dealer down the road and you can convince him to do this for you, listen to the Liminal. The version or the song is the Liminal by Chelsea Wolfe. You know the song.
Yeah.
It's on the Unbound EP that she put out like 2 years ago. Listen to that on a really well-appointed hi-fi. It will fucking blow your mind. It is such an incredible recording, and her voice is just, I mean, I've never heard anything like it.
She's incredible. I mean, like, the last time I saw her was at the Stanley Hotel right before COVID. It was 2019, and the Stanley Hotel, you know, where Stephen King stayed the night and got the inspiration for him. They in their ballroom, and it was when she did the acoustic album. So it was acoustic set. It was just her and her producer, her partner, does the bass and stuff. And he just did a little bit of stuff here and there. It was mostly just her and acoustic guitar. And I've seen her play loud of a band. I've seen her do everything. And no matter what, like, it's unearthly how good she can sing. Like, I just don't know how she can sing that. Like, it's like perfect every time I've seen her, like her vocals. You know what I mean?
I'm just taking a look at what the set list was for that evening. Holy shit, dude. I am so jealous. I mean, she was just playing like all the songs of hers that I like: American Darkness, Birth of Violence, The Mother Road, Deranged for Rock and Roll. She did a cover of Night of the Vampire. Fucking hell, man. After the Fall. Holy Jesus. And at no less than the Stanley Hotel.
Yeah, that was an amazing show to be at, and it was really cool. My friends bought me tickets, and I drove. Like, I paid for gas and stuff, and it was that was really incredible. And then it was like really cool driving back from there, and we got it was like a little dust of snowing, but I drove the back way through the mountains in the night, you know, like after seeing her show, like there, I don't know, it's such an atmosphere, such a vibe, you know what I mean?
Fucking hell no, dude. I'm exceptionally jealous about that. I'm gonna have to pick your brain about it when we're done recording here. I don't want to turn this into the Chelsea Wolfe appreciation hour. we got a song to listen to by up and coming record label that both you and I really like, Serpent Sun Records. They're putting out a new band called Heretic Cult Redeemer. And Heretic Cult Redeemer have unveiled 2 new songs, To Rust We Glorify and The Wondrous Strand of Time. We're going to go with To Rust We Glorify. It's out on Black Metal Promotion has put it out. And both will appear on the band's forthcoming studio record, Inoculum Chaos. That gets released on July the 24th, which is in about a month from now. Now, quick correction on what I said earlier. Heretic Cult Redeemer are not a new band. They put out their debut album in 2013. That was called Heretic Cult Redeemer. They then put out Kelevsma in 2018. They put out Flagellum Universalis in 2023. And then now, of course, Inoculum Chaos is coming out. I wasn't familiar with them before. I am now, and that is fucking brilliant.
Well, that's top notch for me. Like that, I really love that.
Undoubtedly.
I love everything about that. I love the fucking deranged vocals over the over the music. It just has there's something about it. He sounds like he's possessed. Like he's just like some like I don't know, like crazed. Like he's seen the Eye of Chaos or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just like, and the music, like the riffing is actually really sick. Drum sound. Even with the kind of StreamYard sound, the drum sound was really good. The drum production, and I see that the drummer is also in a live member of Serpent Noir and Thy Darkened Shade, Acrimonious. So he played with Nightbringer. So I have to ask Kyle because he obviously knows him. Yeah. I mean, members. Okay. The vocalist is also a live member of Devathorn, which is a really, really good band. He put out, haven't put out an album in a while, but yeah. I mean, so yeah, I really like this. I mean, I'm not surprised. Like Serpent Sun, they're batting 10 out of 10 so far. Everything they put out, I love. So
I was just going to say, like, let's take a minute just to reflect on the fact that they have put out nothing but brilliant records so far. That Hierophany record that they released last year, I unfortunately slept on that, which is why I didn't make my list. But after you raved about it, I went back and listened to it. It is a masterpiece.
Yeah, the album is so good, and everybody I know who, particularly after I had the guy on the podcast, like a lot of people were messaging me like, I wish I've heard about this earlier. Like this is so good.
They put out they have on their roster Chaos Sophia, Luna Mantra. I actually played a track off of their 2020 EP Psychosomatica on a, Into the Necrosphere episode from way back. But I remember the name because I was so impressed with them.
Good. The Chaos Sophia album is another one you need to, if you haven't really given it time yet, you need to get back to that one too. That one's sick as fuck. So
Beyond the Black Horizon, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna do that. Feels to me like Serpent Sun Records are fixing to become the Norma Evangelium Diaboli of the United Kingdom.
I definitely think so. I mean, it seems like that's his goal. I still need to get Richard on the podcast. We haven't been able to set a time yet. It'll happen when it happens, but it's definitely in the works because I'd like to kind of talk to him and but it seems like that's kind of his goal in a lot of ways because it's similar to Norma Evangelium Diaboli, where everything is united like around the kind of spiritual essence of what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like as opposed to just signing random bands.
Well, I mean, that to me that's an early entry into the 2026 contenders list. Undoubtedly, I don't have to hear the rest of the record. 2 minutes is enough to tell me I'm going to absolutely fucking love the rest of the thing.
Me too. Yeah, I'm excited for that album.
All right, we've been going for just over an hour now, so there's one other song that I wanted to check out before we head to the Porcelain Bowl of Reckoning. It's found over on the Democrat's Guide to Rock Music, and the reason I want to listen to this is, one, I do quite like Fuming Mouth, but secondly, Sheriff Scondado and I were talking about this band just the other week. It says here, Massachusetts metal and hardcore powerhouse Fuming Mouth has released a new single and music video for Cheat Death, the latest offering from the band's upcoming album, The Ringing Bell, due out on July the 17th via Triple B Records. No longer with Nuclear Blast, which is interesting. I wonder why that happened. Anyways, let's hear what Cheat Death sounds like. We're going to end up going through the entire song if I let it go much longer. It's only 2 minutes, 29 seconds long.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is how fucking insanely fast time goes by. I had it in my head that Last Day of the Sun, which was their sophomore album that came out prior to this one, that it came out like a year ago. And I was just reminded as I looked on Metal Archives, it was 2023.
Holy shit. I thought it came out like the year before last.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, yeah, their band I didn't know about till you had them on the podcast, and I like that album quite a bit. It was like into contenders with that year, but didn't quite make my list. But like I like this song a lot. This is good. Like it's heavy and aggressive, and then I like it.
I think I kind of made the comment about I wonder why they're not a Nuclear Blast anymore. I don't know whether this is purely me speculating. I do feel Nuclear Blast they missed an opportunity there a little bit, because when that record came out, I mean, it was quite a challenge trying to get the band booked for an interview. And then when I finally did, obviously I ended up having the whole band, which is fine. But Mark Whelan, the vocalist, because of his story around having and then surviving leukemia, that's such an inspiring story and such an interesting story to be able to talk through. And I don't think that, I mean, I was very disappointed with how that interview came out, because I feel like had he been by himself, we would have had a far more open and frank conversation.
Yeah.
And it was very surface level to me. I totally understand he's backstage, he's with a band. It's not a reflection on him. My point is, I feel like there was something quite inspiring and something quite interesting that should have been, if you think about it from a promotion perspective, that kind of should have been the engine behind the band, or behind promoting that record.
I also found it kind of odd that, like Nuclear Blast should know better than like booking an interview for a podcast with the whole band. It's not like you're like doing like Jerry does, where you're meeting, like hanging out with them backstage before a festival and doing an interview with them or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's like probably a misunderstanding of what the format is 100%. Like, because even 3 years ago, it seemed like some labels just didn't understand podcasts. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think there's an element of that for sure. But I would definitely be curious as to why they left Nuclear Blast. I just looked up Triple B Records. Again, no disrespect to them, but it wasn't a label that I was familiar with. They don't have a lot of bands on the label. They've got C4, Combust, Dominant Force, Exhibition. Mostly bands I've never heard of. Almost all of them thrash crossover hardcore bands, which means I've got a list of bands I actually now want to go check out. But I mean, it might potentially be that one of the guys is involved in the label. Maybe they just, they're from Boston as well. So maybe Fuming Mouth wants to, pump some of the recognition that they have been able to build up into a new venture. And if that is the case, I think that's fucking cool.
Yeah, maybe you can use the new album as an opportunity to do a second chance and just try to talk to the vocals. Yeah.
No, I very well may do. Speaking of second chances, though, nobody who faces the Porcelain Bowl of Reckoning ever gets a second chance. They certainly don't get a chance to come up for air. This, my friends, is the Swirly of the Week.
No. Oh, you like?
All right, so when it comes to Swirlies, the gift that keeps on giving, as you've probably detected by now, is Reddit. And more even than the Is It Sketch subreddit, the threads that they have over at the RABM subreddit are a non-stop source of absolute fucking comedy gold. The latest one that I picked up was posted 4 days ago by somebody named Alchemist, and they say, "The algorithm is crazy out there, folks. Boomer Book figured out that I like black metal, and now like half of the sponsored posts on my feed are for outright fascist or fascist adjacent black metal, despite all of my actual follows being manifestly not fascist bands." Same on YouTube. As soon as it figured out I was listening to black metal, half of my suggested videos are best bands on sketchy black metal list and whatnot. That's a great idea for a video, by the way.
Yeah.
Really sure the point of posting this per se, other than to be like, holy shit, more evidence that big tech is cooked. I'm going to take £10 on saying that never fucking happened, because you and I both follow a bunch of bands that this guy would probably fucking piss his pants over on a daily basis, and I have never received a single sponsored post where they said, go check out Argus Lent, or Big Tech commands you to dig into that new Goat album.
Yeah, no, I mean, here's the deal with this fucking idiot is that they're probably their idea of what's quote unquote fascist black metal is like probably like Marduk is like or Mayhem is like, verboten. You know what I mean? Like this is somebody who probably only listens to like a very small part of quote unquote black metal. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, as I said to you, I personally don't think this ever happened. I've never seen anything like this. I don't think that there are sponsored posts. I mean, why would Marduk or Mayhem even need to do a sponsored post? I think they probably saw a fucking sponsored post by Bring Me the Horizon, with Bring Me Horizon using their edgy new logo. Oh my god, this is clearly fascist black metal. The thing is, though, the craziness doesn't fucking end, because there are a bunch of idiots that then comment. And make quite clear why this person did the post in the first place. No Visor says, ditto, I've been getting all kinds of sketchy stuff. The algo's default is to serve far right shit.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the big thing about these guys is that none of them are saying what they're seeing.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not saying like, I see sketchy stuff like this. You know, these bands, they're both just, it's so vague that there's like, you're like, what are you talking about? Name one, you know, and as soon as you do that, they'll get defensive. Like, well, you know, like,
well,
like, you know,
all of them, all of the sketchy bands.
Yeah, and you're like, what bands? Tell me
Yeah.
exactly which bands you saw. Like, and that's the kind of thing with these people. It's very easy to shut them down because they'll go like, they'll make some argument about something, and you're like, well, show me exactly what you're talking about. And as soon as you do that, they could just get angry because they can't think of something because they're just spewing bullshit. You know what I mean?
100%. I think the prize winner for the fucking dumbest comment, though, was somebody named Kanye Quest, who says, interestingly, I've managed to avoid sketchy black metal recommendations, but yesterday I've watched one Muay Thai video and now YouTube is harassing me with Alex Terrible's boxing match. Just that word, the use of the word harassing. Holy fucking shit. Do you think that somebody is literally behind the scenes like, oh my God, let's show this Kanye Quest who's boss. Let's ruin Kanye Quest's day. I'm going to give Kanye Quest a step-by-step instruction on how to avoid all of this terrible harassment. So firstly, you pull your index finger out of your anus, clean it off, ideally, before you take your phone, go on YouTube, and when you have a sponsored video by some fucking apparently far-right channel promoting Alex Terrible's boxing match, you go, not interested. And that half-a-second activity will spare you any further harassment. It'll certainly spare you the need to have to go on Reddit and share your pain with the rest of the commies on the RABM thread.
Yeah. I think it's partly not even sponsored posts that they're talking about. It's just like the algorithm of like what it shows you. You know what I mean? Like when you pull up YouTube, it shows you a bunch of random videos, right? You know, not all of them are sponsored. It's just what the algorithm has decided that you want to watch, you know, at any one point. Same thing with Facebook or whatever. So I think this is what they're talking about, but at the same time, like, you know, the thing is like it really doesn't make sense because, like, you know, I follow a ton of black metal bands, just period. And I'll tell you, like, you know, on Instagram, I see more bands posts mostly like certain times, but the algorithm isn't really set to show you stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like they try to, yeah.
I will say this person to me is exactly like the guys who get shit from their wives or girlfriends because their Instagram feed is suddenly awash with big booty babes. And they go, I don't know how this happened. I never look at women on Instagram. And it's like their whole entire algorithm, their whole entire feed is just like the same thing. Fitness influencers, you know, and women with the BBLs. The funniest thing to me, and this is a nice way to wrap it up, somebody named Acrobatic Jelly writes, the algorithms want you to react and engage to keep the platform active. Welcome to capitalism. Well, I'm better dead than red. So I'm going to be screaming that as I take Alchemist, Kanye Quest, Acrobatic Jelly, and all these fucking turds straight up to the Porcelain Bowl of Reckoning, triple dunk their heads, and that, my friends, is the Swirly of the week. Well, dude, that was, as always, an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for coming on. Great to
Always,
talk to you, great
whenever.
to catch up, and
Any-
we'll do another
anytime.
one of these very soon.
Yeah, it's like me and Mike have started becoming the. I think Mike's been the most. Mike Scandato has been on the news rant the
No,
most
I
now.
think I think you're the most.
As I'm still the most.
You're still in pole position.
Okay,
So,
it's probably me and him. Like we're like head and head.
yeah, definitely. But
Yeah.
I mean, again, I've said this to you before. Like so often when you and I do a news rant, I'll listen back to the episode, and then I'll be suddenly realize, fuck, it's 45 minutes in. I don't feel like listening, like I'm listening to myself.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
thank you
always
very
good.
much, man. Great talking to you as always. And to everybody who has been watching, who has been listening, thank you so much to you as well. Have a fucking great week, and I will catch you again next Tuesday.